Depending on when I get this video up, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Arceus, will either be on the horizon or already here. After what I've seen from Pokemon on the Switch, including the burnt dinner I wasted a gift card on, I knew all along I wasn't going to buy this even close to immediately. However, this isn't a Legends think piece, and I won't make one yet because I have priorities. What if I said the game wasn't as big a step in a new direction as you thought, though? Think about it. Running around a vast natural world, unlocking it in parts while adding Pokemon you see to a list as they roam freely without human influence? Okay, I admit I'm stretching, but once I made the connection, it wouldn't leave my head, so feel my pain. I'm probably the only one who ever noticed such a connection, because PokePark is definitely not one of the more popular spin-offs. Why, you may ask? Well... yeah, the people who actually played PokePark could take it or leave it, which makes my relationship with the game all the more intriguing to me. I played this game a lot as a kid, and actually revisited a few times as I grew into my teens. I don't quite remember how I got it, although knowing me I probably saw it at the local Walmart and said please to my mom. Having been a few years since I last played it, let's see if the game still holds up to my current tastes. I hope you like the loading jingle, because you'll hear it another 400 times. Hey look, an overly large file. I'm a basic brat, I'm not going to choose the silly picture. Here we have the main menu. Wait a minute, why am I going into the password screen? I need to take a walk. Maybe taking a walk in the winter was a bad idea. Hey, do you know the code for Celebi? 580687773. Don't ask how I memorized that. Passwords don't actually do much, just letting post-game bonus Pokemon roam the overworld and give Pikachu items for certain attractions he can't do otherwise. After all, Pikachus are physically incapable of flying, swimming, and sliding. Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why can't Pikachu slide? Glaceon can, and it's not rolling or cleaning its ass at high speed. Regardless, the actual game begins with Pikachu and his token friends playing around in Token Town. Suddenly, Mew arrives and creates a hole for Piplup to conveniently pull a Delta Rune in. I guess focus sashes were trending in Token Town, because everyone survives a fall clearly above 200,000 feet. Mew explains through a dream that the Sky Pavilion that floats above PokePark will fall into it if the Sky Prism isn't fixed, so it's up to Pikachu to gather the pieces and bring them up, because clearly Pikachu's the prime candidate to stop the equivalent of a potential meteor. As soon as he comes to, a Chatot greets him. Chatot serves as this game's the PokePark guide. Yeah. Thankfully, after the PokePark entrance, you can completely ignore him. This little forest area is only meant to show you how things work. Pikachu can walk, dash with 1, use Thunderbolt with A, and perform context-sensitive options with the 2 button. Although if you aren't talking or checking something, it's to jump. You can only use the Wii Remote on its side, meaning you're stuck with a D-pad in a 3D game. While that philosophy should have been flushed down the toilet after the PS1, PokePark doesn't ask much out of the player, and dashing instead of holding up makes it so 360-degree movement isn't an issue unless it's the haunted. Oh, god damn it. Berries can be earned by finding them in crates, making friends, and achieving bonuses and attractions. More on that later. Kinda odd that food is currency here. I mean, what if a Pokemon was about to buy something but then got hungry and ate enough to not be able to buy the item? How many have to resort to standing in front of a crate all day because they're poor? I'm thinking too deeply into this. In the middle of all the tutorials, Omo Chatot challenges you to a game of chase. Violently headbutt the opposing Pokemon, and you win. Simple. Chase is one of the skill games, menial mini-games that determine if you can befriend a Pokemon or not. There are 5 kinds, some being a lot rarer than others. After electrocuting a bear, reading a sign, and getting a not Pokedex, we finally enter the first real area of the game, the Meadow Zone. Made of luscious trees, a calm river, and rock carvings of Dialga and Palkia that no one ever brings up, this is a pretty tranquil place with some good detail. In fact, the game as a whole is pretty good looking for the Wii. The only real exception is the Flower Zone. I don't know what it is, it just looks hazy. Here, we meet up with Chikorita and are shown the game's first attraction. Attractions are a mix between minigames and bosses. They're required to play and clear in order to progress, because the hosts have prism pieces. In order to play Bulbasaur's Daring Dash, all you gotta do is... Yep, peak gameplay right here. We're given the Prism piece and one of the game's many instances of Show Don't Tell, only for Trico to kidnap Chikorita because we broke the rules. Stupid Trico. No wonder everybody picks him the least. If Turtwig received the bonus in Bulbasaur's Daring Dash, I'll let you cross. Ah yes, the only way to atone for breaking the rules is to break the rules again. He's so slow that I don't think that's possible. Hey, Trico, come on now. You don't have to be so mean. Not everyone's gonna know not to run towards the tagger, right? After another round of... I make more friends. This is the entire game. You make friends, they become playable in any attraction they can participate in, give you berries, and might summon other Pokemon for you to make friends with. Now all the Lotad are your friends. There are hive minds in this game? Peace was never an option. Yeah, this is a water bottle. You went to the Pokemon Magic Kingdom just to eat berries? We cross the bridge and Mankey challenges us to our first battle. Well, it would be the first battle if I didn't fight Lotad earlier. You'll be surprised by my speed. Dear God, how am I keeping up? I took some time to do the Lord's work. Well, that Weedle's dead. Here we have the Keeper's Gate where... Wait, what the hell is he doing? After feeding / paying him, he lets me see Venusaur, who makes me battle Croagunk and do Spearo's obstacle hop. Pfft, it's only 3 measly platforms, how hard can it be? Nah, I'm just kidding, that was the second run. Venusaur says that it's too dangerous to play attractions or go to other zones. Yeah, because beating the shit out of another Pokemon's totally safer than... With Venusaur's Vine Swing, you swing to see how far you can go. It reminds me of the long jump from Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Okay, now that I have the second Prism piece, I'm gonna try and befriend this Leafy.
Hey, you douchebag! I want a rematch!
That was embarrassing. Hopefully Torterra won't be as...
Hey, you douchebag! I want a rematch!
Go!
Ah, the meeting place. The central hub with a photo station, Drifblim fast travel, and expensive upgrades that wouldn't be a problem if I didn't save bonus hunting for after all said and done. We want to train those who wish to make the PokePark great again. I feel like there's a joke I could make here, but it wouldn't be in the best taste. The Beach Zone. Instead of an overprotective Venusaur, we have Gyarados trying to take over since Empoleon went MIA. Ah! I thought you were trying to hide! Oh, bullshit. If Vaporeon was that fast, everyone would call it the best evolution. It's good that we found Piplup and all, but why can't he just swim why not across the water? I have no choice but to do the Lord's work once again. Or, I would if Carvana and Sharpedo weren't such... SIP! In order to have permission from Sharpedo to build bridges, we have to...
Swim through all the rings!
Thanks Marlin, but it's actually flying through all the rings. In Pelipper's Circle Circuit, you fly. That may sound like Superman 64, but since this isn't a pain, I'd rather compare it to Knights. Would make a video on this if the game wasn't so short. Now that we're allowed to do the God's work again, Gyarados has us play Mario Kart in the water, because that's what his attraction is. Hee hee, I've never met you. That's a balloon and you can fly it. Beautiful dialogue. Speaking of beautiful, the Iceberg Zone. Nice looking place, has an ice tree to decorate. I mastered Iron Tail without a tail. Do you know what that means? Does it mean you use Iron Tail with your dick? Is that Squirtle?
Say, let's have a battle.
Squirtle, I'm so sorry for what I'm about to do.
Let's make lots more friends. Play with me again, come on.
Okay. One thing I don't like doing in this game is carrying things around, and the Iceberg Zone is unfortunately full of that, whether it's taking presents to a tree, giving Glalie ice blocks for igloos, or giving the sire a gift after taking the chairlift. Hey, that rhymed, much like how Frostlass rhymes before freezing a lake. How did Mamoswine get across this lake anyway? And how's he frozen when he's an ice type? Trauma. Now that we revived the only Pokemon with a high enough attack stat to break down the door, assuming we ignore Ursaring, we get to see Empoleon. His problem reminds me of my middle school days. He hates how emotional he is, so he locked himself away. What a wimp. Oh man, I don't know who to choose. Pikachu or Squirtle? Pikachu or Squirtle? Pikachu or Squirtle? God damn it, who do I choose? Maybe I'll go with the sire or something. No, I'm sticking with Pikachu. Empoleon's Snow Slide is like Gyarados' Aqua Dash, but without the 2 button. Hey, do you hear that music? The soundtrack as a whole is pretty mixed, but some standouts to me include the PokePark entrance, most of the attractions, and, for better or worse, here we have the Cavern Zone, the zone with the most interconnected events so far. Mr. Mime tells us that a piece of the rail is missing, so we can't go to the Lava Zone. We go to Zubat since they like gossip, and one of them says that they see Aron looking at the rail and drooling. We pause this plotline to play a round of Bastiodon's easily overlookable block barrage, which is literally just Breakout. Aron tells us that Mawile bit off the rail after we feed him a piece of iron ore. Mawile loves this zone so much that she bit off the rail so nobody would leave. After we play a skill game with her, she tells us she gave it to Dugtrio. Dugtrio tells us that he hid it in Marowak's berry storage. We battle Marowak and he lets us in, then we find Diglett, who hid it under Snorlax. One attack and bribe of the bear later, we have the rail back. All we had to do there was battle this guy for the minecart, and then we could go into the Lava Zone. The bright for cave standards beautiful Lava Zone. This is my least favorite zone in the game. The whole idea is that there's a drill for iron ore and
Go!
as well as a furnace for making bars and tops out of these. Problem is, it's on the other side of the zone. One path has a bunch of asshole Torkles, and the other path is longer. This stuff isn't optional either. You need an iron bar to progress, an iron top to play Rhyperior's Bumper Burn, and a gold top if you want to be Hitmontop's friend. Speaking of Rhyperior's Bumper Burn, however... Oh hi Groudon. We found Charmander here, so that's nice. The only other thing of note is Blaziken's attraction, where you smash boulders rhythmically. There, we've restored the friendship between the 3 keepers we know. But what about the ones we don't? Next up is the Haunted Zone, but first... Wait a minute, Double Dash? Do-do! Here we are in the Haunted Zone. The first order of business is to play Tangro's Attraction, which is basically a race version of Venusaur's Vine Swing. I'm really craving some cheese right now. Into the house we go. After some chit-chat and bashing heads with the power of Mario Kart, we play Dusknoir Speed Slam. Wait a minute. Is this supposed to be a race or a weightlifting contest? The main problems in this zone are that Mischievous's piano needs fixing and Rotom has gone missing. Getting some thread from Spinnerack here fixes the piano problem. Oh hi Darkrai. With the power of Book, I can find Rotom in the basement, and he has an attraction. You ghost bust until they get you. Normally this attraction wouldn't be too bad, but since I only used Pikachu, it was a pain. He doesn't have a big reticle or a fast firing rate, plus my Wiimote was starting to short out at this time, so I struggled for a while trying to beat this event. Afterwards, Miss Magus tells us that all of our problems can be solved in the Granite Zone. It makes sense, after all, the Granite Zone is the best zone in the game. It's ancient ruins, and there's very little filler. The first thing to do here is Absol's Hurdle Bounce. The way it works is... oh no. 4 times? This wouldn't be so bad if we were holding the Wii Remote upright, but no! Let's make children operate hand cars for the first time. Music does slap though. In order to progress, we need to find the 3 secret words. The first one is love, which Porygon Z tells us after we do an actual platforming challenge. Oh boy! The second one is peace, which Togekiss tells us after clearing her obstacle hop. There really haven't been too many of these, have there? The last secret word is rainbow, which Snorlax knew the whole time. Now that we've showed Flygon the power of a few words, we can play Salamence's Air Ace. It's pretty much Pelipper's Circle Circuit, but with shooting. Oh hi, Jirachi. Wait a minute, I can't move on. I don't have all my upgrades. Looks like I'll have to go berry farming. Several Charizard electrocutions later, and I enter the Flower Zone. Aesthetically, it's the child of the Meadow and Granite Zones. No one battles here, and the only thing to do is get a mirror from the meeting place and bring it up for Rayquaza. He's in charge of the final attraction in the game, and boy did they save the best for last. Unlike the others, there are multiple things going on. First, you run across the balloon, going through rings and avoiding Voltorbs and Electrodes. The control is a bit iffy here. Next, you shoot targets. If the target fits entirely in the reticle, your points get doubled. It's pretty easy to do so with better Pokemon. All that's left to do is a bit of gardening, and boom! We can finally go into the hey, hold on! I call bullshit. Aerodactyl would have saw that balloon and shot it out of the sky. Regardless, here we are at the Sky Pavilion, the place we've been aiming for since the beginning. I went back to befriend Blossom. Now, here we are at the Sky Pavilion, the place we've been aiming for since the beginning. There's only one more friendship we need to make. But Mew won't make it easy for us. You know, because the fate of the entire PokePark is definitely less important than going easy on a potential friend. The first part is just some harmless platforming. Nothing more to be said. Mew will fight as a Magmortar, a Garchomp, and a Tyranitar. I beat all of them without taking a hit. Finally is Chase. Listen to that triumphant music as Pikachu stops and stumbles for no reason. Anybody else feel like the terrain is a worse enemy than Mew? And there we go! Mew has been befriended, the prism is restored, the fireworks go off, and scene. It's strange. PokePark isn't really that good, and I see that now. For some reason though, I still like this game after all these years. Even though the item carrying is tedious, the story is drowning in Sonic Force's cheese and I could do without the constant. The novelty of venturing with Pokemon in their natural habitat is just as strong as in Pokemon Snap. The minigames are mostly fun, and this is gonna sound weird, but I prefer how battles work here compared to the main series. The battles are in real time, and your moves are mapped to buttons. I think with a bit of fine-tuning, future games could really benefit from this battle system. It'll be more interactive than what we have right now. And with that, I'd like to thank you for... Wait. New challengers? Now that I think about it, there are 193 Pokemon in the PokePark pad, but the most you can make before the normal ending is 177. We know who 3 of the stragglers are since Mew transformed into them, but how do we get the last ones? Simple. We achieved the bonus for every Pokemon in every attraction, and once we unlock them, we can go back to Mew for the good ending. You know what that means? More of...